dive right in. Okay, so welcome to your first team call. I'm so excited that you're here, and even though the whole team's not here, but that's all good. I know they'll watch it back, and I just have a few announcements for the team, which is the Diamond Call is going to be Monday the 18th, and I know a lot of people here are working towards Diamond on this team, so I'm looking forward to hopefully some of you guys joining for that call soon. And our live What is Coaching Happy Hour is going to be next Thursday, the 21st. So mark your calendars for that at 8:30 p.m. And then just start sending out your invites for the Coach Happy Hour. The people, your challengers are definitely the first people that you want to invite to that because the best challengers make really good coaches, in my opinion. But you can really invite anybody that you see that you think would be a good fit for somebody that would be a good entrepreneur, somebody that's hardworking. Maybe they are similar. Maybe they're a stay-at-home mom who wants to do something for themselves, or maybe they hate their current job, what they're doing now. So somebody like that would be a good person to invite to the happy hour. I want to talk a little bit about Summit. It's coming up in 14 days. I'm so excited. And this, for me, was a complete game changer. And I know for a lot of coaches, it was a complete game changer in terms of becoming really serious about my business. Like before I went to Summit, I knew that I was going to give it my best shot. And then after Summit, I was like, this is it. Like, this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to make this happen. And just being there and seeing the energy of everyone and all of the success, just walking across the stage and the excitement. I mean, we went into a workout with, it was my first live workout with Chalene Johnson, and I had done PiYo throughout my whole pregnancy. And there was like 500 people in this room doing PiYo with Chalene, and Chalene's there, and she's her positive, like, happy self. Just, I almost was like in tears. Like, that's how inspired I was just by, I could feel the energy just radiating in the room, and I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be right now. This is amazing. And so many different moments during Summit were just so incredible, and it's really hard to explain unless you're there and in the moment, but just hearing the speakers talk and hearing the top coaches from the company who have literally, some of them come from nothing, and just hearing their stories of how they got where they were, it was really motivating and really inspiring, and really it just sold me into, like, this is it, like, this is what I'm going to do. And so I think for anyone who thinks that they might be serious about this business, I would put this on your goal list for 2017. Be here in a year. Be at Summit 2017. I know that they're going to be doing signups probably right after or maybe during current Summit is what they did last year. So when we were in Nashville last year, they started doing the signups for the following year, and it filled up really quickly. So that's why I want to just say it now, because I envision our team being there in full. And I know Katie's coming this year, and I'm super pumped about that. But next year, my goal is to have a whole house of just Team Spark there. And I know Team Pivot, we started out with one house last year, and this year we have at least three houses, which is awesome. We've grown, and I would love to see the same happen with Team Spark next year. So if you're serious, definitely put Summit on your to-do list for 2017. Along with Summit, Country Heat is a new workout program by Autumn Calabrese coming out probably right during or after Summit as well. It's a country kind of sort of line dance program. It's really fun. I tried it a few weeks back, and it's pretty cool, and it's just a way it's very low impact, and anybody can really do it. It's mostly cardio, and it's a lot of fun. So if you know somebody who's looking for something that's more low impact, or You know, it's great during pregnancy or for somebody who's older or just somebody who's looking to do something where it doesn't feel like working out because maybe they hate working out, but this is like something that's easy to do that you still get great results. And Marion has actually posted in the arena some really amazing results from coaches on the wall who have before and afters from this program. And I was really impressed with what happened in 30 days from country line dancing. I was like, really? Wow. So it's definitely one to check out. August 1st, our monthly group will start up. So when you're doing your invites, I would use August 1st as your date. And I'm not exactly sure what the theme's going to be just yet. Maybe summer slim down. If anybody has any ideas, I'm open to suggestions. And then the next team call is going to be August 11th. Okay. I just want to go into one little tangent before I get into the meat of the call, which is handling objections. I want to talk a little bit about that Summer Tucker video. I'm not sure who has watched it on the team yet. If you haven't watched the Summer Tucker video that was posted in the arena, you must watch this video. It is amazing. It's all about vision and all about consistency. And what really hit me, first of all, she's kind of crazy and a little bit, like I thought she was yelling at me in the video. I was like kind of scared. But she's really, really passionate, which is awesome. And she talks about this one part in particular where she really, really gets amped up, and really where I felt she was just screaming at me was when she talks about the train. And she says, who is going to want to get on your train? They don't know where your train is going. Like, you have to tell them. You have to show people what your vision is. You have to tell them where the train is going. No one's going to get on a train and they don't know where they're going. That's crazy. And it really made me think a lot about my vision and my vision for this team, and made me think, you know I have shared my vision boards and I've shared things, but maybe I haven't done it enough, or maybe I haven't shared it enough on my social media pages. And it kind of really punched me in the gut, and I was just like, man, like maybe I really need to start doing this more often. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about my vision, really why, not only why I started as a coach, but why I keep doing it and what I'm looking forward to in the future. And, some things in my vision are, I want to build my dream home with my husband and my family. And I want to send my kids to private school one day and not have to send them to New York City public schools, and be able to pay for them to go to college, and not have to have them take out student loans that they're still paying back forever. I want to live a life where money is not a constant day-to-day struggle. To be able to focus on things, more important things than just getting by day-to-day financially. I want to travel the world. I want to go to Thailand. I want to go to Brazil. I want to go to Greece. I want to go to Ibiza. I want to just see the world. I want to go to Africa. I want to experience everything. And I want to show my kids the same, and just be able to show them that there's more out there. I want to show them how other people live. And I want to be able to show other people, other women like me, that they too are capable of making their dreams a reality. To show them that if they put in the effort, they can get results. That I'm not some superhuman person that, oh, it must be easy for you. No, it's not easy for anybody. But if you put in the work, you can do it too. And, both with health and fitness and weight loss goals and toning up and things like that, but also with this team right here, and showing you all that you guys can make a difference in the world and in the lives of others. And that you can create a better life for yourself with this opportunity. And you can have the freedom to wake up and make a choice when you wake up of what you're going to do that day, and not have to be just bootstrapped to what you have to do every day. more for my vision with the team is I want this team to be a 5-star elite team by the end of the year. But I have higher sights than that. I want to be on that national wake-up call one day. And it's something that Marion had said very early on, and I was like, that's awesome. Yeah, I want to do that too. And I want you guys to be on the national wake-up call one day. I want to hear Erin. I want to hear Katie. I want to hear Sadie. I want to hear you guys talking on the national wake-up call, telling your story of success. And I want to become a 15-star diamond coach. I want this team to be in the top 25 of the entire company of Beachbody. And I know that it's possible. I saw Team Pivot go from basically starting from scratch to a top 25 team in a year. And so I know that it's possible. I know that there are people out there who want to do this like we do. And I know that the type of people we have on this team that are hardworking, that are dedicated, who want to make this work, who want to do this for themselves and for their families, and they want bigger things in this life. And so, we've already helped tons of people so far this year to reach their goals. And I know that if we keep going, if we stay consistent, and consistency right there is the key, then we'll be elite. Because this job, honestly, it's not rocket science. Trust me. Some of these top coaches, and I don't say this to be mean, but they're not the brightest crayons box. Their typos really just drive me crazy. But it just goes to prove that it's not about intelligence. It's not about perfection. It's not about any of that. It's about consistency. It's about determination. It's about effort, and it's about showing up. These top coaches show up every single day. They do their workouts. They follow their nutrition plans, their product of the product. They post about it. They share. They connect with potential challengers and coaches about it, and they're doing their personal development. That's it. I mean, that's new coach, top 10 coach. Everybody's doing the same thing. They just do it consistently every single day. And somebody who is maybe a hobby coach isn't being consistent every day. They might do it every once in a while, once a week, here and there. And they're not seeing the results. Maybe they get frustrated because they're not seeing anything from the work that they put in. So they, take a couple days off here and there, and they never see the results. The people that see the results are the ones who are putting the effort in every single day. You don't get six-pack abs working out one day a week. It doesn't happen. So it's crazy to me that people think like, oh, I'm going to make a 6-figure income, but they only really come to work one day a week. It doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way. You are going to get out of it what you put in. And when you do show up, when you are consistent, that's when you're going to start to have success. And that's when you'll start to reach your goals. Okay. That was my little Summer Tucker video, what I got from it, tangents. And now I'm just going to get a little more into the meat of the call, which is about handling objections, which I know I've had a lot of messages from you guys. Some of you are a little discouraged about people telling you no and how to handle different objections. And just let me say, I know that it can be discouraging and when people say no. But I'm going to tell you how I handle it. And just so you know that this is completely normal. If you aren't getting told no, then you're probably not inviting enough people. Plain and simple. So I get told no all the freaking time. And it's really, really important to not take it personal. If people tell you no, they are not saying no to you. They are saying no to themselves. They are making excuses, or they just have limiting beliefs about what they're capable of. But we all know that these things aren't true, or we know that they can be fixed. And so don't take it personal. Being told no is not something to just throw in the towel and give up over. If I had, I would have given up a long time ago because a lot of people have told me no. But I didn't. And why didn't I? Because there are people who will say yes. All of you here said yes, right? I mean, people who are ready for a change will say yes. People who may not, and there may be people who don't believe in themselves, but you entering their lives could change that. And maybe they don't know they're ready, but once you present the opportunity, they say, oh my gosh, like this is what I've been waiting for. I just didn't know it yet. And it's important to keep in mind also that people are not motivated to reach your goals, right? They're motivated to reach their goals. So don't think that by inviting somebody, like they're doing you a favor by joining a challenge group. It's not a favor to you. I mean, this is for them. If they don't want to join your group, we shouldn't be convincing people to join a group if they don't want to join a group. Because at the end of the day, they're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy. It's not about getting people. It's about, showing people, figuring out what their struggles are, what their problems are, and showing them that you are the solution to reach their goals. And they might not be ready right away when you ask them, and they might not be willing to make that commitment, but no is very rarely a solid no. It's usually a not right now. And many people have gotten back to me months after I've sent them an invitation to join a challenge group. Or I've, checked back in with them a few months later down the road, and they said, oh, you know what? I think now might actually be a good month for me. So follow-up is also very key. Okay. Down to one specific type of objection, price. Price is a big objection, right? One of the biggest objections you might get is about money. Many people will say, oh, I don't have the money right now, or money is tight, or I'm saving up for a house, or that just really just sounds more expensive than I thought it was going to be, etc. What they're really saying is, I don't want to spend the money on this right now, because you're probably spending money on other things. And why don't they want to spend the money on this? And it's probably because they don't realize the value of what they're getting. So I very rarely talk about price in the beginning of my conversations with people. I never really talk about money until maybe the last conversation, when they're already ready to press the purchase button. Why do I do this? Because seeing a price sticker on something doesn't show them the value of what they're getting. So what do I do instead? My first conversations with people are not even about the products. They're about them. I ask them questions. What are their goals? What are their struggles? What have they tried in the past that has worked for them? What hasn't worked for you? What do they enjoy when it comes to working out? What are their habits like in the kitchen? All of these questions are really important to get to know your customer. Not only does it open them up to trust you more, because honestly, if you're just throwing out numbers and trying to get the sale right from the very beginning, they're not going to feel like you really care about them at all. They're just going to feel like you're trying to get a sale. And that's not what we're about. We're here to help people reach their goals. And so you need to know what their goals are, and you need to learn about them and figure out what a good program and fit for them would be. So my first conversations are all about them. Then once I've learned more about them, I try to meet them where they are. I provide a solution for them that will meet their goals. I share what has worked for me and what's worked for my teammates, and I share videos. I actually, in the back office, they have videos of every single program, and the ones that I recommend to them, I always share a video along with the description of the program. And then I let them know what's included with each program. So you get the DVD program with basically a personal trainer in your house that never goes away. You pop them in anytime you want. You get a nutrition plan. You get 30 meals of a super healthy shake that takes less than 5 minutes to make each day and costs way less than anything you could really be eating out otherwise, Subway, Panera, Chipotle, Starbucks. And it's a heck of a lot healthier. You get my personal support as your coach. You get a group of incredibly motivating people to keep you accountable, where we share tips and nutrition facts and helpful hints and recipes and meal plans, inspiration, and more. And you get a 30-day trial of Beachbody on demand where you can stream your workouts and try out new programs. So this is, and I tell them all this before I even talk about price. So by the time we get to the price, they're saying, oh my gosh, wow, I get all of that for only $140? Like, that's a steal. It's a freaking steal. And it really is. I mean, if you think about how much a gym costs per month, $50, I'm not sure. In New York City, it's like $100, so it's hard to compare. But, and then, thinking about a personal trainer, think about all the healthy food you're going to have to buy on top of that, and you're able to replace one of those meals a day with Shakeology. So that's less food you have to buy. Plus, you have a coach, you have an accountability group, which, I mean, the accountability group for me is incredible value. I mean, people buy programs all the time off Amazon, off wherever, and they buy the program and it sits in the shrink wrap on the shelf. Mm-hmm. And maybe they try out 1 or 2 of the workouts. They probably give it up after a week and a half and they never see it again. But these accountability groups really keep people going. I mean, I've had people in my challenge groups for like a year now, which is crazy. People quit gyms before a year sometimes. Well, people go in January and they stop going by February. I mean, let's be real. So this is an incredible value if you really think about it. And if you're sharing with these people up front all of this value before talking about price and everything, and they still say no by the time you get to the end, maybe they're just not ready at this time. Maybe they're not they're not ready to put in the investment. And if you want to be healthy and fit, you are at the end of the day going to have to put an investment in somewhere, usually, if you really want successful results. So, but let's just say you're still getting some objections, which we all do. And so here's how I normally deal. I'm going to take some shock top, good stuff. So I like to use the feel, felt, found method when dealing with different objections. So if somebody tells me that Shakeology is too expensive, I might say something like, I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way when I started out, which is true. I found out that once I did the math, I was actually saving money by not going to Starbucks every morning or eating out lunch every day, since it comes out to about $4.30 per day versus like $7 to $10 you would spend grabbing lunch out at the office or something like that. And it's so much healthier than what I was eating before. So you empathize first. Show them that you understand where they're coming from. Show them that their concern is not abnormal. And then share your experience and how Shakeology has benefited you financially, since this is a pricing objection. And then you want to put the decision back on them. So, say something like, I know it can seem like an investment, but 99% of my challengers who are successful are drinking Shakeology, and I really want my challengers to be the successful ones. So if you decide to try it and it's just not for you, you can easily cancel it after the first month. What do you think? Are you willing to give it a shot? Okay, so put the decision back on them, because ultimately it has to be their decision. And like I said before, your job is not to get customers. It's not to convince somebody to buy something that they really don't want, because at the end of the day, no one's going to win. You're not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy. So, just show them how they will be saving money at the end of the day if they're worried about the price. And if they aren't willing to invest just a little bit to get themselves back on a healthy path, then honestly, they're probably just not ready. and they probably wouldn't be successful, and they probably wouldn't bring anything to your challenge group. So bless and release. The next objection, just Shakeology objections in general. I mean, I'm sure you've had, there's people that just say, well, do I have to get the shake? Yeah. And that was me, guys. Like, I was that person who, when I started out, I wanted to sign up as a coach, and I wanted to eat healthy, and I wanted to get back in shape, and I wanted to do P90X for forever. And then I got pregnant, and I had to wait, and so it was just like I was really amped to get started. But I did not think I was a shake person. I'm like, I don't know if that's my thing. I'd rather eat my food. I don't want to drink my food. I don't know what's in there. And then I got pregnant again. It was a whole other issue of like, is it safe for the baby? I mean, it was this whole ordeal. And, but once I was cleared from the doctor, everything was good to go. I tried it. I gave it a shot. And I ended up loving it because, one, it's made me healthier. I make smarter decisions because I drink it. It curbs cravings, and I have so much more energy now to get through my day with my little ones. And it's great. It's great for my immune system. I very rarely get sick anymore. Even when my kids are sick, I don't get sick half the time. So, I believe it's because I'm fueling my body with healthy nutrition. So when people give me this objection, I give them my experience and how, the feel, felt, found of, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way, but I tried it. And I usually tell people also that it is a requirement to join my monthly challenge group. It's kind of the standard challenge pack for the challenge group. Otherwise, I'm happy to have them join my free groups. But I have just found over the last year that those who are investing in the whole challenge pack are going to be the successful ones. Those who buy the program and don't really care so much about the nutrition, they don't end up getting the results that they want. They get frustrated. They quit. The program stays on the shelf. They don't do it. So again, I tell them that 99% of my challengers who are successful are drinking Shakeology, and I want to ensure my challengers the best chance at success. I ask them if they're willing to give it a shot for the first month, and if they decide it's just not for them, they can easily cancel after the first month. Worst case scenario, and I don't think I've ever even had to bring this up, but there is a bottom of the bag money back guarantee if they really hate it. Most people will just try it out for the first month. I usually don't have to go that far. And again, there are some objections when it comes to pregnancy and breastfeeding. I always tell them to consult a doctor before really putting anything in your body. But I share my experience with them and how, I did a lot of my own research. I had my mother-in-law, who was a midwife, look through each packet ingredient by ingredient. And at the end of the day, I felt comfortable with it. And I had no issues with it. So, and it's funny to me how people can be totally fine, like going through the drive-thru at McDonald's and eating that crap when they're pregnant or breastfeeding, and that's going to the baby. But they're like, oh, what is in that healthy shake? So, anyway, so that's that. The next objection that we get a lot is time. So you may hear, I don't have time to work out. I'm too busy. My schedule's too crazy. I have too many kids. My commute's too long. Okay. We all know that's bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm calling it like it is. It is. It's bullshit. Every single one of us on this call is busy. We are busy people. We're busy as hell. Many of us have multiple kids. We have full-time jobs, or we're stay-at-home moms, or we have demanding husbands, or other commitments, pets, traveling. The list goes on and on. But we all still manage to get 30 minutes in a day, right? It's easy when you never have to leave the house. And we still have time for that, and we have time to run our own business on top of all that. So I'm calling shenanigans on anyone who says they don't have time for a 30-minute workout. Like, it's 2% of your day. And honestly, I feel like it's what you choose to do with your time. And it's so funny. Like, I used to think I was busy before I had kids. And, like, what was I doing? Like, was I watching like 5 hours of TV a day? Like, I was not busy. Like, that's not busy. So more than likely, these people have time to watch a 2-hour episode of Bachelorette every week, so they probably have time to do a 30-minute workout. But that aside, those who are saying that they don't have time, I'll usually say something like, I totally know what it's like to be a super busy working mama. I used to feel like I had no time either, and I could never get to the gym once I had Nico. But the fact that I can now get a 30-minute workout in without ever having to leave the house is so clutch. So that's what I normally say to challengers. And then for people who say that they don't have time for coaching, I let them know that there are so many coaches on our team who also have full-time jobs. And yes, maybe we had to cut out some of that TV watching or the kickball league that we were in, or, you know, the dinner out with friends every night kind of thing. But cutting out those things was worth it to me because I'm now doing something productive and I'm building something for my family and for myself and for our future. And eventually we will have the freedom to do whatever we want, whenever we want. So I feel comfortable giving up 5 hours of TV a night to be more productive with my time. So that's kind of what I say to people who say they don't have enough time for coaching. Another objection you might get, especially during the summer months, are traveling. I'm traveling this summer. I'm going on vacation. I don't think it's a good time for me to join a workout program, yada, yada, yada. So to that, some things I might bring up are the Beachbody on Demand, that you can bring it wherever you can go. You can swap out the resistance band instead of the weights, which is easy to travel with. You can also recommend a program like PiYo or Size that doesn't require a lot of equipment or any equipment really. And, you know, relate to them. Like, you can still work out and eat when you're traveling. And I try to show that even when I'm away on vacation, I'm still consistent. I'm still working out while I'm on vacation, or even if it's not the traditional PBD workout, I'm going for a hike, or I'm doing this, or I'm still trying to stay on track and eat healthy, and I might have an ice cream cone on vacation, but like I'm not just completely falling off the wagon. So relate to them, and you know, I'm going to be traveling also, and here's what I'm going to do. Here's how I decided to get around that issue. And so just meet them where they are and kind of empathize with them about the situation. And then the next objections are about coaching. And I think it's important to talk about this too, because as you build your business, coaches on your, you know, gaining business building coaches on your team is going to be really how you drive, you know, that's going to drive your business. So you're going to get many objections on the coaching opportunity too. And so some of them might be, the first one is, I'm not at my goal weight. So it's a common misconception that you should be at your goal weight before becoming a coach. I actually think that it's not good to be perfect as a coach, because perfection is super hard to relate to, and it's really hard to live up to. It's much more relatable to have a coach who's also working on themselves, who's on their own journey, who's a normal everyday person, who sometimes slips up and has pizza and ice cream. So I talk about that stuff all the time. And for me, I was pregnant. I found out 2 days in to coaching, or to trying P90X for the second time, that I was pregnant, and when I became a coach. So that was not ideal. I was getting bigger, not smaller. I had no results to share with anyone because, you know, obviously I was pregnant, so I'm not like getting 6-pack abs or anything. But it was relatable. And I was surprised to find that other pregnant women who saw me on my journey were inspired by that. And women who had recently had babies who are trying to shed baby weight were inspired. And now I'm still, it's so funny, I'm still getting messages and Snapchats from people who are now pregnant, and I'm obviously not even drinking my beer. Yeah, I'm obviously not pregnant anymore. And I'm still getting messages from people who are now pregnant saying like pictures of them like doing their workouts and getting it done. And it's so cool because they were inspired because I was doing my workouts when I was pregnant. So, you know, you don't have to be this skinny mini whatever people think that they need to be a coach. Just be real, just be yourself, just be on your journey. Another objection that people may come across is they might say, I'm not a salesperson. I don't know, I don't want to sell anything. And to that I say, great, because I'm not looking for salespeople. I'm looking for other moms like me who have young kids who are looking to get healthy and fit, and they want to share their journey and they want to share their experience and inspire others. So I'm looking for people who aren't afraid of hard work, who are willing to connect with others, but I do not want salesy people. I want people that can have conversations and build relationships with people. Another objection might be, I come from a small town, or I don't have very many Facebook friends. And to that I might say, you know, this job is entirely online based. So many coaches, other coaches, successful coaches, have come from small towns or have only maybe 200 Facebook friends when they start out. And as a coach in the beginning, you may rely on your family and your friends to join your challenge groups for those, you know, first few months and things like that. But honestly, like a lot of my best friends haven't even done a challenge group yet, guys. So eventually you're going to have to expand your market on social media. And we have tons of training to show you exactly how to do that. And then another objection might be that they're scared of social media. So this is super common, and I know it can be scary to put yourself out there and be vulnerable and share your story on social media. You may worry about what other people think of you, but I tell them, as long as you aren't being salesy or annoying on social media, I personally have started to just not really care what other people think about my posts. If you don't like my posts, there's a little unfollow button that you can click, and you can easily unfollow me. And I'm the kind of person who I never wanted somebody to not like me, and I hate that conflict and things like that. But at the end of the day, other people's opinions are not going to further my life. They're not going to pay for my kids to go to college. They're not going to give me my dream home. They're not going to give me a bikini body. They're not going to give me the confidence to build a successful business. And so why am I going to worry about it then? If these people, your Facebook friends, are your true friends, they will absolutely support you. And if they aren't, to me, it's kind of like, oh well. Bye, Felicia. You know, I mean, if I'm truly being passionate and being myself on social media and you don't like me, well, that's me. So take me or leave me. And the flip side is, once you start being vulnerable, these people who don't support you will just kind of fade to the background. And the people that are supportive, you know, they're the ones that you'll be changing their lives and you'll be inspiring people. And I'm so surprised to this day that I've gotten so many messages from people that I don't even know that they're reading my posts, but because they don't comment on the actual post. But then I'll get I'll reach out to somebody later and they're like, oh, I've been following your posts. They're so inspirational. I'm like, really? I had no idea. So just know that those people are out there watching and other people are encouraged and inspired. So like, no one has reached out to me and say like, your posts suck, you know? So, or like, your posts are super annoying. I mean, so at the end of the day, as long as I'm reaching out to the people that I want to reach, that's all that really matters to me. Okay. So those are the most common objections, that I get. And if you have other objections that you want to talk about, save them for the end of the call. I just have one other little bit of information, which when it comes down to is ignored messages. Is another thing that happens sometimes. So that's also normal. Don't feel weird if people are ignoring your messages. People ignore me all the time. So one thing, so relate to their why. So if you reach out to somebody, they seem like super interested, and then you send them the information, they're like, yeah, I'm in, blah, blah, and then they just never do anything. And you're like, wait, I thought you were going to join a group. What happened? And so reach out to them and just say, say something like, hey, love, guessing you're super busy right now. I totally know how it goes. I know you were really interested in getting back in shape for summer, and I just wanted to let you know that I didn't forget about you. I would love to support you in that journey if you're still up for it. I'm holding a spot for you in the group. What do you think? Are you in? So you're acknowledging, you're relating to them. You're acknowledging the fact that they're busy, that there's a lot of things going on. You're acknowledging the fact that you paid attention to them and that that they were interested in getting in shape this summer, that you didn't forget about them, which can go a long way as well. And that, but then you're putting it back on them with a question. Because if you just leave it as like, let me know, you're probably going to get crickets. But if you end it with a question, they're more likely to respond. Even if they say no. I mean, for me, I'd rather get a no than get an ignore, right? Yeah. So another response you can do is for a referral. So let's say you've written them a few messages and they just completely are ignoring everything. Hey, how's it going? Hope your summer's going well. I'm guessing the challenge group is not really for you. No worries. Things change down the road. I'm happy to chat with you more about it anytime. Since you're a healthy and fit person, I was wondering if you might have any friends or family members who you think might be a better fit for my group or for coaching instead. The worst they can say is no or ignore you again. So, big deal. And then this next one I actually heard, I've never tried this one, but Bonnie Engel, who's the top coach, I think she's like the number 6 or something coach in the company, she did a video and she used this method where she asks for feedback. So maybe I'll try it, but she says, hey, doll, saw you read my message but hadn't had a chance to respond, or maybe you just aren't interested, which is cool. I totally understand. Was curious what about the program or the group made you decide it wasn't for you. I'm always trying to improve what I do for my challengers going forward, so any feedback you can give me would be so helpful. I really appreciate it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I've never tried that, but maybe I'll try that one out. And then the last one, ask for a follow-up. So, hey there, guessing the holiday, so say it's around the holiday time. Guessing the holidays are a busy and stressful time for you and not the best time to join up for a challenge group. Would you rather me check in after the new year to see if it's better timing? Or, you could say since it's summertime now, would you rather me check in after the summer when we're back to school or something like that? That way, when they respond and they say yes, you're given the open door to follow up without being annoying because they said, yes, you can follow up with me. And then on the last note about objections, I like to challenge objections in social media posts. So if you've been getting a lot of similar type of objections, I would, maybe it's about the price, maybe it's about Shakeology, maybe it's about whatever, not having enough time. So create a social media post about that. So let's say it's about, turn it around and say why these things are false realities, or, talk about how, for example, on Shakeology, talk about how you can make a nutritious meal on the go as a busy mom. Or talk about how nice it is to not have to drive to the gym in the snow during the winter time or when it's raining, and how you can get in 30 minutes at home and feel good. Or how you've gained confidence from your challenge group, making friends online, and you don't have to waste 2 hours commuting back and forth to the gym and be intimidated by big scary dudes and weightlifting or whatever. So create social media posts around these objections so that people see these before you even have a conversation with them. And so these objections don't even ever come up because you've already addressed it in your social media. And then lastly, the more you invite, the better you become at it. So the more you talk to people, the more comfortable you'll become with it. and the better your success rate will be. So my advice is just to dive in there, get through those first few like uncomfortable conversations, objections, and just learn to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, and eventually it's going to come so naturally to you, and so it'll be so easy for you to talk to others and handle the objections that might arise. So that's about all I have. We're running short on time, but we still have a few minutes. If you have questions, Erin, if you want to, you can unmute yourself and just let me know if you have specific questions about anything or any other objections I didn't touch on.
Can you hear me?
I don't think, not really.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Now my real main question is, like, how many
I'm going to turn off my air conditioner because it's kind of loud, and I think that's why I can't hear you.
Oh, okay.
Gotta love those Brooklyn AC window units. Okay, now I can hear you much better.
Now my real question is, like, how many times do you follow up with somebody till you just say, forget it?
Right. So usually I go in like a rule of 3. But it depends on the situation. It depends on the conversation. It depends on how it went, what they said. If they really seemed like they were interested, I might, and they just haven't responded after like 2 or 3 times, then I might put them on a list to check back in like 3 months or something down the road. But if they just have completely ignored me the entire time, then I'll usually just like 3 times is like, then I'm done.
Okay, because I've had, a bunch that just have ignored.
Yeah, and I'll usually check back in, because what happens sometimes, especially with Facebook Messenger, is like people will see it on their phone, and then like they'll be at an inopportune time to respond, and so they forget to go back because the little notification goes away.
Right.
And I'm guilty of that myself too. It's like if I see it on my phone, like I try not even to look at it because I don't want to forget to respond later. And so, but I know other people, they probably look at it and they're like, oh, I'll get back to her later. And then they forget. So many times when I follow up, people are very appreciative that I followed up, because they were like, oh, like I meant to get back to you. Like, I'm so sorry. And, so I always check in, and I kind of have a rule of thumb too, that like, if you are my Facebook friend, I at least deserve like a no, or like a response, or like, or that you're not really my friend. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like, if it's a complete stranger, okay, fine. But like, if it's something that I know, even if it's an acquaintance, like you can at least just say no. So I don't feel bad about following up. So I'll just say like, hey, I'll say, hey, just wanted to check back in. Sometimes Facebook Messenger can be kind of wacky. Not sure if you got my last message. But da 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 da. And then if it's like, and then by the next time I'll just say like, hey, it's one of those where it's just like, hey, I'm guessing it's not the best time for you to join a challenge group. If things change down the road, I'd be happy to chat with you more about it anytime. I'd love to include you at any time, or something like that. And then I kind of just drop it. But some people never check Facebook. Yeah. So it's hard. If you have an email, maybe that's better for people. But I don't always have everybody's email. And so that's why for me, I tend to use Messenger a lot more. But I would say, 3 is usually the amount of times that unless they've shown more interest and they've gotten back to me a lot more, and like I can tell that they're probably going to do it one day, but it's just like not the right time. I might check in down the road. So, and I keep all of my contacts in, and everybody does this in a different way, but I personally, like some people just use pen and paper. Some people use, Teamsy, or there's a few others. I just use like a Google Drive, Excel, or whatever it is, sheet. And, I'll write, their name, how I met them, like any details of the conversation, and then I'll write like a follow-up date of what the next time I should contact them, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, whatever it happens to be. So then I can just go down my list, and all the ones that are like I'll mark out the ones that I don't like, they're like not interested. I'll just mark them in gray, and the ones that are in white still I know to go back to, and I'll have them in the follow-up date in red so that I can go back.
That's a good idea.
With them. So, and I can even just share with you right now. Okay. Just do a quick screen share. I can show you what it looks like.
Yeah, because I had 2 of them who messaged me wanting, information. I gave them the information and then nothing.
Yeah.
So I messaged them.
So yeah, I would probably just check in and just say, hey, like I know it was a lot of information to digest. I just wanted to see if you had a chance to check out the videos I sent along and if you thought it would be a good fit. And a lot of times I'll use like the challenge date as like, if it's starting to get close, like, hey, I'm locking down spots for my next challenge group and I'd love to hold a spot for you if you're still interested, or, what do you think? Are you in? And I always end on a question so that, that they're more likely to respond instead of like, let me know.
Right.
Let's see here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
All right. So this is kind of my, take you back up to the top here, but I mean, see, look, I have a lot of grays, right? So there's the purples are people who eventually became challengers, and then the whites are the people that like I'm still in contact with. And, I'll just put their names and I'll put like messages like they participated in my free challenge group, or, this is when I want to follow up with them in April, or I'll write little notes about them. But I like literally have every single person I've ever contacted in here, and I just keep adding them to the end. And so like sometimes by the end of the month when it's like time to do follow-ups, I'll just go through and like anybody who is in white, like I'll say, oh, is it a good time to check in with them? And, and I even question myself, like, should I go back and contact some of these grays? It's been a year, who knows? But I have them all here so that I know that, like, I have contacted them and then I'm not, like, bothering them again, like, with the same invitation or something. So it's a good way to just, you got to track some way. And, I mean, some people, they can do it all on a notebook and whatever, but for me, like, I need a little more organization than that. But some people even have it where, I forget what the program's called, Streak, that's what it was. A lot of people use Streak, and it gives you like Google notifications of like, today you're supposed to contact such and such or whatever. But I just don't have that many people's emails, so for me, like, it just didn't really, I don't know, I just use Excel. It works for me. Any other questions?
No, you covered like all of it.
Okay, good. Awesome. Well, I hope it was helpful, and I hope everyone who wasn't able to make it tonight, I hope it was helpful for you guys as well, and you can watch the playback. I will be uploading it soon. I'm going to stop the recording here.